good, crypto fam? Welcome to another fabulous Tuesday here on the show. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the Binance CEO CZ along with his $10 million Bitcoin price prediction. That's right, he made the bold prediction that if major companies like MicroStrategy allocated just 1% of their holdings into Bitcoin, we can see a 1,000x growth on the Bitcoin price. Also in today's show, we're going to be discussing the latest prediction coming out of Fundstrat. They just made this prediction saying the Bitcoin price target is likely to hit somewhere between $140,000 and $180,000 before the next Bitcoin halving in 2024. I'll be breaking this down for you, as well as Bloomberg Analyst doubles down on his six-figure Bitcoin price prediction. So a lot of predictions to share with you today. And naturally, we'll also be discussing the latest technical analysis, as well as breaking news. BlackRock declaring last year that the optimal Bitcoin allocation is a large 84.9%. Let that sink in. We'll also be discussing Elon Musk says X will offer an entire financial world in the coming months, and also be breaking down the latest saga between XRP, the SEC, and their appeal. All this, plus so much more in today's show. And if you're new to the channel, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Be sure to hit the like button as well, and hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And welcome to y'all just joining us. This is pod episode number 1352. I'm your host, JV, and today is July 25th, 2023. Let's kick off the show by checking out the market watch. Hallelujah. We back in the green. We got Bitcoin pumping up 0.3%, trading back above $29,200. We have Ether up 0.5%, trading at $1,858, with Doge being one of the biggest gainers, up 9%, trading just above 8.2 cents. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap sits at 1.18 trillion, with 25 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance at 48.4% and the Ether dominance at 19% even. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, we have XDC leading the pack, up 11%, trading just under 6 cents, followed by Dogecoin up 9%, trading above 8 cents, followed by Mass up 7%, trading at $3.75. And checking out the top 100 gainers for the past week, it's Doge, XDC, and Theta, as the majority of the altcoins are bleeding and in the red. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, one of my favorite indicators, shows we're currently rated a 50, which is neutral. Yesterday was a 55, last week a 56, and last month a 64 in greed. So there you have it. How many of you took advantage of this current dip, sub $30,000 Bitcoin price? Put BTFD in the live chat or comment right down below and let me know. And be sure to say hello in the live chat. We have a very active live chat, and shout out to everyone there, as at the end of the show, as we do in every episode, is read all of the comments out loud. But yeah, now let's dive into the charts and what is popping currently with the King Crypto. Here we go. Bitcoin registered its most impressive price surge in 2 weeks, again when Ripple won a minor victory in court against the SEC, along with the rest of the market, when Bitcoin soared to a multi-month peak of just under 32,000. That's the high for the past 13 months, just FYI. However, the hype began to fade quickly as Bitcoin fell back down to just over 30,000 the next few days, and then stagnation followed, and Bitcoin remained mostly around that level with a few dips below it. The landscape changed for those worsening yesterday when Bitcoin plummeted by more than $1,000 after it got rejected at 30,300. This price drop is south to a monthly low of just under 29,000, leaving millions in liquidations. Bitcoin managed to add a few $100 since then, but its market cap is back down to $565 billion, and its dominance over the alt sits tight at 48.5%. as the alts continue to bleed out. Now I want to share with you some breaking news coming out of Japan. Japan's prime minister says we are creating an environment to promote Bitcoin and crypto. It can transform the internet 100%. I feel it is absolutely transforming the internet and will continue to do so, as well as transforming this world. And also major news coming out. BlackRock announced this last year, and it kind of went under the radar, but it's being pointed out here. The optimal Bitcoin allocation is a large 84 0.9%. Now, could you imagine if they did this? This is coming out of their own draft 2.3 effect of skewness in practice, as highlighted here. Exhibit 4 presents the results starting with a 60-40 equity bond portfolio, which is produced with a risk aversion of Y equals 1.5. The optimal Bitcoin allocation is a large 84.9%. And it continues. The remainder of the portfolio, 15.1, is a split 60-40 between equities and bonds. Although Bitcoin has an extremely large volatility of 1.322, see Exhibit 1, the pronounced positive skewness leads to large allocations and dominates in the utility function, see Equation 9. So for this to come directly from BlackRock, could you be more bullish? And what are your thoughts? What if, hypothetically, they allocated 85% of their assets under management, which is north of $10 trillion? What do you think that would do to the Bitcoin price? Let that sink in and let me know your thoughts in the comments. And like I said at the end of the show, we'll be reading everyone's comments out loud. Now, I know this is on everyone's mind. I had a lot of recommendations to cover this, so that's why I'm covering this in today's show. And that's Elon's X platform. They just rebranded the Twitter platform. You no longer notice that little cute bird. It's now just an X. So here his master plan. Check it out. Elon shared an update for users with more info on Twitter's rebranding of X, saying it's a part of a larger plan to incorporate financial services on the platform. That's the keyword right there. July 25th, Musk retweeted that his X Corp enterprise acquired Twitter in the name of freedom of speech and the advance of the development of his Everything app, which is also called X. He hinted that in the coming months, users can expect to conduct their entire financial world on the platform. Pretty interesting. And as Elon shared here, Twitter was acquired by X Corp, both to ensure freedom of speech and as an accelerant for X, the Everything app. This is not simply a company renaming itself, but doing the same thing. The Twitter name made sense when it was just 140 character messages going back and forth. He also mentioned the addition of comprehensive communications together with financial services. An extended post did not fit the original ethos of Twitter and therefore merited the name change. The platform's branding lost its blue bird and shifted over to the X symbol on July 24th. What are your thoughts regarding this rebranding? And in an interview, Musk said that if executed correctly, X has the potential to encompass half of the global financial system. We talking hundreds of trillions? Like, whoa, with plans for banking, payments, and more. Some have likened the potential of the X app akin to China's WeChat. As pointed out here by Brandon Hoffman, X is finally arriving. X will be an everything app, an example super app for the United States like WeChat for China. Social network, messages, video, content, finance, banking, payments. Cryptocurrency, anyone? And over time, it would be half the global financial system. And this is coming directly from Elon himself. Now, prior to the public awareness of the rebranding, Elon had been advocating for the integration of financial services on the platform since he acquired it for a whopping $44 billion back in October of last year. And in April, he briefly changed Twitter's logo to Doge, which I believe was like an April Fool's joke, but it caused Dogecoin to surge 20% as a result in a matter of an hour. A few weeks after, CNBC reported Twitter would introduce a new feature in partnership with the fintech platform eToro, in which they already did, in which you can see the Bitcoin prices in real time, which is pretty cool. Shortly after the rebrand, users noticed the Doge symbol been added to Musk's profile, which sparked rumors amongst the crypto community of a potential Dogecoin integration for payments on the platform. Now, despite Elon's ongoing relationship with the crypto community via his championing of the meme coin, crypto Twitter has mixed reactions to the rebranding of the platform. Some in the community called the decision insane and that they would still call the platform by its old name, while others suggested keeping the Twitter name and using X as a wallet for the platform. But what do you think? Let me know in real time here in the live chat. Do you agree with what he is doing to the platform? I'm looking forward to it as long as these financial services include Bitcoin, which I like to believe because the fact is Twitter still has Bitcoin on its balance sheet. So you already know the deal. That could lead to mass adoption, Bitcoin game theory. So bring it and let's freaking go and let's send this Bitcoin price action to new stratosphere, shall we? And with that being shared, now for the latest regarding the SEC appealing the XRP decision from the recent lawsuit. According to John Deaton, who is one of the lawyers over there for XRP, the U.S. SEC will likely appeal the outcome of its lawsuit against Ripple, but that doesn't concern pro-XRP lawyer John Deaton. Judge Torres sent shockwaves through the crypto ecosystem earlier in the month when she ruled that Ripple's automated open market sales of XRP, referred to as programmatic sales, did not constitute security offerings, contrary to what Mr. No Clarity Gary Gensler of the SEC alleged. In a recent court filing in a separate lawsuit against Terraform Labs and its co-founder Do Kwon, SEC lawyers assert that Torres' decision in regards to the portion of the Ripple lawsuit was wrongly decided. The SEC says it's considering the various available avenues for further review, suggesting the regular plans to appeal Torres' decision of the Ripple case. Deaton, who represented XRP holders in the Ripple lawsuit, doesn't think an appeal would be a setback for the crypto sector, quoting him directly here. First, it'll be 2 years from now before a decision is issued by the Second Circuit if it's appealed. Then Judge Torres' decision is the law until then, at least in the Second Circuit. Second, if the Second Circuit says Torres was wrong regarding her app for the third Howey factor, which I predict they won't, that doesn't mean that the SEC wins on the programmatic sales, which are the sales on the exchanges. All that happens is that Torres then applies the other two factors that could likely still rule the same exact way, concluding that the SEC didn't satisfy the common enterprise factor, which is more of a difficult factor to meet, in my opinion, than the third factor. Deaton does note, however, that Judge Torres' decision isn't binding in the Southern District of New York, as he points out here. A fellow district judge could disagree with her, but I think a fellow judge in the circuit court is going to be hard-pressed to disagree with the judge, especially considering she cited Judge Castell from Telegram. And as we know, last month, Deaton said that Judge Castell made it clear that Telegram's terminated crypto token gram itself was not a security. So therefore, the underlying asset is never the security in an investment contract analysis. So there you have it, coming firsthand. The takeaway from this story is if the SEC does choose to appeal the decision from Judge Torres, it can take 2 years to overturn. So in the meantime, Judge Torres' decision considering XRP not being an unregistered security on the exchanges stands. So this is a victory for those of us in crypto. And with that being shared, fam, now let's discuss everything predictions. We're going to start with Bloomberg doubling down on their 100,000 price prediction, followed by a brand new prediction coming from Fundstrat that the Bitcoin price is likely to hit between $140,000 and $180,000 between now and the next 9 months before the Bitcoin halving. And then we'll be discussing everything CZ relating his $10 million Bitcoin price prediction, followed by some live Q&A, and massive shout out to everyone out here in the live chat. So here we go. Bloomberg Intelligence's senior macro strategist McGlone is doubling down on his six-figure Bitcoin prediction, but says that the King Crypto could encounter a major setback along the way. I think we call that black swan events here in crypto, right? In a new interview with crypto influencer Scott Melker, McGlone says he still envisions Bitcoin eventually hitting a six-figure price tag, but warns it might dip below the 20,000 level en route of doing so, quoting him here from the podcast. Remember, I made the call for $100,000 Bitcoin when it was trading below 20,000. I stick with that in the long term, but I think it is more likely to drop 50% and get down to 20,000, even make a new low before it goes on that trajectory. Now, to support his prediction, McGlone points towards treasury bills paying out 5% and the Federal Reserve's continuing monetary tightening policies, quoting him here. When I see things like I can get 5.25% in a treasury bill, done. I look at the Case-Shiller index or the house index, and it just was almost at the highest ever right before the 2006, up literally 20%. Now it's down 1%. That's collapsing. I look at the Fed still tightening, and the last thing that always usually falls is the stock market. Just look at your history. Now the Case-Shiller index is designed to track changes in real estate prices all across the country. The index hit an all-time high in June of last year and has been trending down since. So could that been the peak? Let me know. McGlone goes on to say that Bitcoin may not be able to spark a bull run due to the macroeconomic environment. Quoting him again, I love to be bullish on Bitcoin, but if you look at the price right now at 30,000, the first time it traded at 30,000 was right at the end of 2020, right the beginning of 2021. So it's unchanged. And if you look at the NASDAQ over the same period, it's up 20%. Yet the volatility in the NASDAQ is half that of Bitcoin. And he continues, so right now, Bitcoin is great. It's got all of these exchange traded funds coming in. We have hope copium for the ETFs, but the actual performance versus the NASDAQ, which has got AI and everything going for it, I look at it as if I'm disappointed. And I think the problem is I sense way too much bullishness, but yet the macro is very unfavorable. The Fed is still taking away the punch bowl. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the Bloomberg analyst, and to watch this video he did entitled "Is the Dollar Dead? Macro Outlook for the US Dollar." Check the show notes below the video in the description. And now for breaking news regarding Fundstrat, predicting a massive price evaluation between 140 and 180,000 for the King Crypto between now and the next 9 months. So let's break this down. Here we go. And shout out to everyone again just joining us in the live chat. The price of Bitcoin can soar 521% from the current levels to $180,000 before Bitcoin's scheduled halving in April of 2024, according to a Monday note from Fundstrat. That's right. The investment research firm said that while Bitcoin's daily demand of about $25 million is equivalent to daily mining rewards of about $25 million, that could change with the potential launch of a Bitcoin ETF. Send it. Let's go. A Bitcoin ETF can add an extra $100 million in incremental daily demand for the King Crypto. According to the note, that increase, combined with the April 2024 halving set to slash daily mining rewards to 12 million, means the price of Bitcoin would have to rise substantially to meet an equilibrium amongst the buyers and sellers. Quoting them again, this Bitcoin ETF launch would bring daily demand to $125 million, while daily supply is only $25 million. The implied equilibrium price would need to rise so daily supply matches the daily demand. Equilibrium analysis suggests that a clearing price is between $140,000 and $180,000 before the April 2024 halving, according directly from Fundstrat, and we all know that's roughly 9 months out. Now, the halving, also known as the halvening, is seen as bullish for Bitcoin, cutting the reward given to miners in half, capping to the limited supply of Bitcoins, and has historically led to price increases. In a note to clients earlier in the month, Fundstrat's head of digital asset strategy, Sean Farrell, explained that a multiplier effect in the range of 4x to 5x is reasonable to assume for the Bitcoin network. Quoting him here, this means that $1 of demand can result in $4 to $5 increase in market cap. Farrell sees a 75% probability that a spot Bitcoin ETF is approved in the near term, as a number of firms, including BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, Fidelity, await word from the SEC on their application filings. So there you have it. Quoting him again, we anticipate a Bitcoin ETF would attract new investors and generate increased demand for Bitcoin. And if approved, a Bitcoin ETF from BlackRock could lead to one of the biggest ETF launches on record. Send it, Fundstrat said, adding that it could ultimately break the record holder, the Invesco QQQ ETF, in the first year of inflows. I think that's a given, right? The QQQ ETF, which tracks the NASDAQ 100, attracted $36 billion in inflows in its first year following its March 1999 launch. Yeah, I think that's an easy target, in my humble opinion. Fundstrat said Bitcoin ETFs could eventually eclipse the precious metal ETF market, which holds nearly $230 billion in assets. A very bold prediction shared here. Bitcoin ETF eventually could become over $300 billion category, Fundstrat said, and that surge in demand would help put a triple-digit price tag on Bitcoin, and that ultimately means 6 figures and above. Fundstrat isn't the only firm with a 100,000 plus price target for Bitcoin. Earlier in the month, as I covered here on the show, Standard Chartered said a positive feedback loop could propel Bitcoin past $120,000 within the next year. So there you have it. Now let's talk about some of these catalysts real quick. How likely do you think the BlackRock ETF approval will be? He says 75% chance. We know the track record is like 575 to 1, so that's like virtually 99.9%. But hey, it is what it is. It's only a matter of time. Eventually, no clarity, Gary and the SEC will have to get their ish together, and hopefully that's before the Bitcoin halving, making the perfect storm, you know what I mean, for us to just rise to a new parabola we have never seen before, making history. But what are your thoughts? Do you think we're likely to hit this target between 140 to 180,000 before the halving? And then where do you think we would be post-halving with such a high price before the halving? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. And with that being shared, now let's dive into the moment you have all been waiting for, and that is our feature story of the day. CZ, the Binance CEO, predicting that the Bitcoin price can hit $10 million per coin. Let's break this down. And this is actually pretty cool because it's not often I see myself referenced in articles, but this is an article which was produced by Coin Edition 12 days ago, July 13th. It was last updated, and they're quoting me in it. So I thought it was only right to show them some love and to read this story. And let's break it down. JV, hey, that's me, a crypto YouTube influencer. Am I an influencer now? I never thought of that. Remembered CZ's prediction that Bitcoin would reach $10 million per coin. JV referred to the statement in a recent video uploaded to YouTube where he analyzed various aspects of the Bitcoin market development. JV looked back at CZ's Bitcoin prediction while analyzing Binance's CEO's recent Twitter comments in a Q&A session on July 5th. CZ addresses several issues, including Binance's reaction to the ongoing regulatory scrutiny. He also spoke about the rising interest of institutional investors in crypto and the proposed BlackRock ETF. CZ made the $10 million Bitcoin price prediction back in 2021. That's right, following MicroStrategy's announcement of allocating Bitcoin for their corporate strategy. CZ then went on to say his analysis he based on the possibility of several corporate companies across the world all allocating just 1% of their corporate treasury into Bitcoin. And according to CZ, that can lead to a 1,000x growth in the value of Bitcoin. So everyone do the math right now. What is 1,000 times 30,000? And put that answer in the comments. JV highlighted CZ's welcoming approach to institutional investors in the Bitcoin ecosystem. CZ noted the advantages of traditional financial firms to bring to the crypto industry, despite concerns about their intentions clashing with Bitcoin's decentralized nature. And according to JV, CZ identified two factors driving the Binance strategy for the next 18 months. They included the upcoming Bitcoin halving event, scheduled to be 9 months out, and the growing interest of institutional investors within the crypto industry. And he noted that both factors would lead to Binance bracing up for higher trading volumes. So there you have it. And this is the initial article back from February of 2021 where CZ is quoted from Bloomberg Radio. Here's what he had to say. Right now, I think only 11 companies have announced they are allocating some, like usually less than 1% of their corporate treasury, to Bitcoin. And we think that it is most likely what caused the initial price rise. I think MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor started it first, but there are 650,000 companies in the world, like relatively established companies in the world, and their treasury is huge. Preach. And he continues, if all of them only allocated 1% to Bitcoin, we are going to see, I don't know, 1,000x more growth in the Bitcoin price. And if they allocate more than 1%, that's going to be even bigger. So I think people don't quite get the magnitude of the wave that's about to hit us. Touche. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the Binance CEO, CZ. And if you do the math, if I'm not mistaken, isn't 1,000 times 30,000 something like 30 million? Let me know. Please clarify in the comments right down below. Now we're going to be reading everyone's comments out loud. Massive shout out to everyone in the live chat. I appreciate the support each and every day. Shout out to Jerome, Larry Apple, Bro Gone, What's Good, What's Popping, Chris Minka, What's Good Barry, Matt Patrick, Garrett Miller, Bart DeBalis, Will Stop versus Guru, Ambrosia Chocolate Factory. Good to see the fam. Huddle Mike 73. Welcome. Appreciate it. As always, Digital Gravity has a great question. How many sats do you think a person needs to retire? I think the more the merrier. And who knows? It's such a large number. I don't even know where to begin. I think everyone has a different goal. Like for a lot of you, maybe your first initial goal is to acquire one Bitcoin, which would be 100 million Satoshis, if I'm not mistaken, as one Bitcoin can be divided by 100 million Satoshis, equaling one Bitcoin. I know for some of you, you need much more than that. Maybe you have a goal of 5 Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoin. Some of you, it may be more, driven, 100 Bitcoin. People like Michael Saylor, he probably wants to have 1 million Bitcoin. He currently has his company, at least MicroStrategy. They're the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin with currently 152,000 plus Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Everyone's going to have different goals, so it really all depends upon you. But I say the more the merrier. You can never have enough. Just keep stacking them sats, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? But let me know your target. Maybe you have a different target. Bitcoin is the only thing I actually own. Everything else is by permissioned access. Great point, savvy Bitcoiner, and much love, much respect. Appreciate you tuning in. LFC Liverpool Film Club, shout out to Tony Jeffries. He says, just got home in the building, already shared on Twitter. I greatly appreciate the continued support. Shout out to Liverpool and all my people out there in the UK. Appreciate you tuning in. Yes, this is pod number 1352. You got that right. Boz Dragon says, evening fam, what's good? Hello, just up from the road. So we got more peeps from the UK. Love to see that. What is it that you recommended? We're going lower. Sorry, guys, says Renee. How you been, Renee? It's been a hot minute since you joined us on the show. So if you're going to say it's going to go lower, tell us. How low do you expect Bitcoin price to go? Do you agree with Mike McGlone of Bloomberg that we can likely see sub 20,000 price again? Let me know your honest thoughts. I think that is not as probable, but it's a possibility. If I had to throw a percentage of it actually happening out there, like a possibility, I'd say 20% chance, maybe as high as a 30% chance we revisit sub 20,000. So I am more bullish than bearish. But then again, I'm always more bullish than bearish because I have such a long-term time frame. But realistically, we do have a Bitcoin halving 9 months out. That cannot be denied. That always drives, volume of the Bitcoin price continues to go up. We have other catalysts like ETF, like we discuss here, the BlackRock ETF. We have people like Fundstrat who are very smart. You know what I mean? They're predicting between 140 to 180,000 Bitcoin before the halving. So they're pretty optimistic. And I tend to agree more with that camp versus visiting new lows, below 15.7 or even sub 20 again. But I could be wrong. That's just my 2 Satoshis. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments right down below. You know what I mean? I'm not that good, but CZ is not a real person. So I respect CZ because he's been in the game. He's an OG for a long time. Yeah, the SEC is attacking him, but he is unlike Scam Bankman-Fried. He has been pretty authentic in my humble opinion. So I'm not going to judge him in a negative way, but I respect everyone's opinions on other people nonetheless. But I think he is an honest, trustworthy guy. Unlike Scam Bankman-Fried, I believe they're the complete opposite, but that's just me based on my instincts. But let me know what you guys think. People said it was the interest rate. Someone asked, why did we drop yesterday? We dropped like $1,000. I mean, nothing new. Yeah, we drop all the time. We correct, especially after rising. Expect us to pump and dump virtually every single day, it seems like. So I don't seem it a big deal. We're already recovering back at 29.2. So to dip 1,000 is virtually nothing in my humble opinion. Just as easy as we drop 1,000, we can rise 5 or 10,000. That's just my humble perspective. If you are emotional, you are better off not looking at the charts and price and just dollar cost average. Just wait a few years and you will be golden, says Chris Minka. Word up. Appreciate you tuning in, sharing that advice. Corky says, let's have some fun today. Let's get it. Bro gone, maybe in a couple of years will be the same price. You never know. Who would have thought back in, in 2020, we hit 30,000. Who would have thought 3 years later we'd be right back at 29,000? Anything is possible in crypto. Expect the unexpected and be prepared to seize the moment regardless of what happens. If the price goes down, keep stacking them sats. If the price go up, thank God you stacked sats when you did. Win-win. Pablo Emilio, 1,000. What's good, fam? Intuition and knowledgeable emotional reactions will get you in trouble. Rave, welcome, says let's freaking go. Let's get it. Stizzle, welcome. Chat, why did Dogecoin go up? Excellent question. Maybe because Elon rebranded to X and his followers thought that was bullish. Who knows? You know what I mean? I'm live and smashing that like button. Thank you, Zap. Much love. JV for president. Let's freaking go, says CMG. Word up. Good morning. Here from Australia. Shout out from down under to Will. I bought even more Bitcoin today. Congratulations, Savvy Bitcoiner. Keep stacking them sats. Love to hear that. Chris, XRP hype faded quickly. Wonder where I heard that before. Yourself, you predicted it. Bart, BTFD, buy that freaking dip. You already know. CM says throw a Bitcoin subscriber party in Puerto Rico. You already know. The first meetup party in Puerto Rico that I'm hosting is going to be the 100,000 party. Hopefully that could happen before the halving. How cool would that be? But if it doesn't happen beforehand, we know it's going to happen afterwards. And who knows, we'll maybe do some other meetups as well. I'm definitely looking forward to that. And if anyone is in the area, feel free to reach out to me on Telegram if you're not a part of the Telegram, or feel free to message me on Twitter. Maybe we can meet up. I had someone more recently say, hey, I follow you. I've been watching your show for years. I'm visiting Puerto Rico. Would love to meet up, have a lunch or something like that, a coffee. I said, no doubt. Hit me up when you're in the area. Maybe we can link up. I'm more than happy to do that, especially, to connect with more like-minded people. Chris says people are not ready for the next bull run. Going to be epic. Major moves take 3 to 5 weeks, so be ready. Sage advice. Thank you, Brogan. Yesterday, I lost 2%, and today I'm 8% positive with using emotions. Word up. Don't assume if a bull run will happen. Instead, just relax. Robert Brady says another great Bitcoin report today. Great effort. Much respected. Thank you, Robert Brady. Means the world to me. I put my heart and soul into this. You know what I mean? I know Litecoin halving is happening, but you can't assume. No, it's definitely happening. But what's interesting, we're not seeing any price action in anticipation for the halving. So is it already priced in, or will the Litecoin price pump after their halving? It's probably only about a week away. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it'll be interesting to see, as Litecoin typically halves before Bitcoin, leading the way. So it'll be interesting. Chester Gregory tuning in from Clearwater, Florida, my old stomping grounds. Word up. Steve G. Elon is a dangerous individual. Agreed. 100%. Can we skip to the 10 million Bitcoin bit? Paul Friel. Absolutely. You already know. Steve G. Why is Elon dangerous? Enlighten us mere mortals, please. Elon is a genius, says Jerome. You could be an evil genius, can't you? Jerome, he sure is. Brogan, Elon Musk is smart in his investments like crypto, but he is not smart with his companies. Jerome, if he is not smart with his companies, can you explain Tesla and SpaceX? No car company has margins like Tesla does, not even close. Larry, and they're going back and forth here. I love it. I'm going to continue reading this. Larry says, not smart with his companies. What the are you talking about? Or are you being sarcastic? Chris says, no mods today. Rather odd. You can't be serious, Brogan. Barry says, I hope this year Bitcoin to 38,000. I think that's a lock. I'd love to see at least a 40,000 price action here in 2023. I think more realistically, it could be between 40 and 50,000. We shall see. Don't see it before the halving, but 178,000 peak for sure. Word up. I respect your prediction there, Matt. Thank you for sharing. If you are definitely an influencer, 3 million, do I get money? I got 30 million. There you have it. So 30 million is the correct number. 1,000 times 30,000 is 30 million. So there you have it. Ambrosia Chocolate Factory was popping. What's new? It's 30 milli. I am very sure. Well, he's ultimately saying Bitcoin can hit 30 million, and he made that prediction back in 2021. But just to be conservative, we're just discussing 10 million. So, hey, we're being conservative for once. JV, are you famous and deservedly so? Oh, you are famous. I think not. I don't consider having 50,000 subscribers on YouTube famous. Maybe if I have 1 million, I'll reconsider that. So just FYI, I don't consider myself famous whatsoever. I'm just a normal dude. When you compare the Canadian spot Bitcoin ETF launch to the approval of the US spot ETF, hello fam, BTFD, great reminder, Jeff. CoinFather says the market cap of Bitcoin would have an initial increase of 75 to 100 billion. If we take offshore trade in and we can buy it in, we could double. So should see Bitcoin 1 to 2x just in a few months from the ETF launch. I sure hope you're right, and I pray you're right, CoinFather, and I appreciate you sharing. Brogan says currently 30% of my wallet is Litecoin due to the halving. Oh wow, you're really betting hard on that. Well, for your sake, I hope it pumps. Let's go. Think we will touch 28 before moving up again? Yeah, absolutely. What's another $1,000 drop that can happen within 10 minutes? Absolutely possible. I'd say 60, 70% probability of that happening. But to go back sub 20,000, I'd throw a 20 to 30% probability on that happening, meaning I'm leaning more towards us pumping than dropping. But that's just me. This halving will have the biggest supply shock Bitcoin has ever had in its history. And I pray you're right. Once again, CoinFather. And I think you are going to be right. Send a few sats. Come on, folks. Send JV a few sats. Shout out to Tony Jeffries on tomorrow's episode. I'll give everyone credit. Granted, you left a comment when you sent the sats, so I know who it came from, like you just mentioned. So shout out to Tony, one love. 18 hours ago was goodbye unless we go lower. I think we might bounce on resistance and maybe close the month just above 30,000. It does seem to be 30,000 is that psychological level, so I'd love for us to close the month above it naturally. Vincent Mark says we are in the market like back in December of 2015, February to 2016 right now. Look at it on the monthly. I think you're right, Vincent. Garrett says we dropped because of the world coin. Oh, that's right. Wasn't WorldCoin going crazy ape-ish just the other day? You live in Puerto Rico, says Jack Ono. 100%. I've been full-time in Puerto Rico since 2018. So after the 2016-2017 bull market, I relocated out here. And I've been here ever since, and I love it. Yeah, so much love. We dropped because of the WorldCoin. 2021, 30,000 was greed. 2023, 30,000 is fear. Elon put XD Doge logo on the profile. Oh, did he? Joseph says, thanks, great job. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Joseph. Why the hate on Dogecoin? Everyone knows Dogecoin is up, especially this YouTube channel. I watch and listen and love the channel. Well, thank you, Dinal. I appreciate that very much. It is what it is. 100,000 party, I will be there, says CMG. Word up. Another damn good show. Thanks, JV. You're the man. Thank you, Zap. Appreciate that. Dogecoin set off the last bull market run, people. Have short memories. Dogecoin and Robinhood need so much credit. What's up, Digital? Digital Dankness in the building. Welcome back. Coin like a madman, trying to get this AI, enough data to get accurate. Word up. Do you people know how many Dogecoin are created every day? There's so many, I think it's impossible to keep track. Isn't there trillions of coins? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's hard for me to take any crypto serious when there's trillions in their circulating supply. It's hard for me to take serious cryptos that don't even have a finite limited supply. Ether. Nobody knows what that number is, so therefore, things that make you go, You know what I mean? Peace, Crypto News Alerts. Word up. Appreciate the love, fam. That's rad. Just discovered the channel and love it. Keep up the awesome work. Will do, Jack Ono. And again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel. Greatly appreciate that. Gary Nowicki says, truth up. Preach, brother man. JV, you got it. Anyways, fam, now for a recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. We broke down the latest technical analysis. We discussed the latest with the Japan Prime Minister saying that crypto can transform the internet. Oh, absolutely. It could transform the world. We discussed the fact that BlackRock back in 2022 said the optimal Bitcoin allocation is a large 84.9%. Well, let's make that happen. We also discussed the latest between Elon saying that X will offer an entire financial world in the coming months, and that better include Bitcoin, because what is a financial world without the king? You know what I mean? We also discussed lawyer predicts a Ripple victory in the case of an SEC appeal. It says Judge Torres is hard-pressed to contradict her historic ruling. We also discussed, according to Bloomberg analyst Mike McGlone, he says he's doubling down on his 100,000 Bitcoin price prediction, but the big catch, we can go sub 20,000 first. Also shared with you the latest regarding Fundstrat's latest prediction, saying Bitcoin can soar to 180,000 before the halving of next year due to the potential BlackRock ETF helping to drive the demand. And we also discussed CZ, the Binance CEO, and his 10 million price prediction, and says we could even climb 1,000x to $30 million per coin. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know.